and daily cycle. And this is what we talk today about, these three amazing songs that create, a harmony in our lives. If we cannot listen, or if we are not dancing in harmony with these cycles, we are out of the universe. We are out of the rules of the universe. So our life comes more, hard. It's not so easy to understand. It's not too easy to smile. It's not too easy to have fun in this planet if we are not in tune with these cycles. Okay, so yeah, pardon?
It becomes a struggle.
Yeah, definitely. We are here, but we should not be here. Okay, why is important to understand these cycles? This is, this is the side, mathematical side. It's only to tell you that there are some kind of science behind these explanations, but this is very confused. Okay, so for who wants to know, in mathematical terms, we say that the phase is given by the value of the functions and is derivative. It's okay. Sounds very complex. Don't worry, because it's more easy to understand in an example. Okay, so we have two waves here. Two waves are completely similar, the same frequencies, 50 hertz, the same amplitude. Okay, and the period also the same. So if I move the wave B and place it on the top of wave A with no overlapping the other, we say that the waves are in phase. What? So let me show you. Oops, they are in phase now. Okay. This is out of phase, and this is in phase. So what is important to know about that is this a kind of shape, format of these waves. If they are in phase or out phase, we have a resultant. And what is a resultant? Okay, so we have two waves, and there are something that happens if two waves merge. Okay, and what we call this, we call the resultant, is a new wave, is the add of the two waves. And this is really important. Let me explain three examples so that we can understand. So if you are exactly in phase, the resultant is bigger than when you start. So if two people work together and they are in phase, the job is well done. You have more job. We are productive. Okay. If we are out of phase, nothing happens. It's zero. And this is the technology that we use in earphones or headphones with noise cancelling. So we have a receptor here that can create exactly the out of phase of the noise ambient, and you don't listen nothing more. So this is the way that it works. It's good to mute people. And finally, we have intermediate resultant. So this is something that, okay, I'm okay here. I have someone near me, surround me, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't care. She or we don't care me, and I don't care them. So we have a resultant, but this is okay. Nothing more. Okay, so another concept that I would like to share with you today is the concept of redox. What is the concept of redox? Of course, it's complex, but we can put very, very simple way, okay? Let me explain. So this is a chart only to understand. Don't worry about that, because what I want that you learn today is only this. Oxidation is loss of electrons, and reductions is gain of electrons. Why is important? Well, because this is the main key so that you can get balance in this planet. So electrons play with us. And this is an amazing game that we have in our life. This is our game, is play with electrons to lose or to gain. They are, I love to do, one thing that the name is grounding. I live not far away from the beach. And when I walk on the beach and water, what I'm doing, and I feel better, is gain electrons, to create a new balance in my body. Well, this is in the science and according to the science. One day I will explain that this concept is not correct, but now is enough to understand. So oxidation, this is our cycle. This is our life, okay? You can call yin, yang, we can call oxidation reductions. There are a lot of names, but the cycle are the same. So let me show in the electric view. As you can see, for oxidations, I lose electrons and I have more protons, okay? And in reductions flow, I have more protons when I start, but what I want is more electrons, is what I'm doing in the grounding, okay? In the magnetic view, what I have is when I go to oxidations level, I have more protons. And this means that I have more magnetic power. And everybody knows if we are close to someone that it's angry, that's, it's panic, is a magnetic field very strong, and you can feel it, something, whoa. And same happens when you relax. You relax, you are okay. You are like art for everybody, you are in another level. So, and also we have a chemical view, and this is about ATP and ADP. ATP, I think everybody knows. Everybody talk about ATP. ATP is amazing. Yes, it's amazing, but there are more amazing things behind ATP. ATP is a kind of energy, according to the science. And when you spend ATP, it converts in ADP. So you lose one phosphate group and you have energy. And after you spend energy, of course, we need to recover energy. And what you do to recover energy? Okay, we eat. Okay, it's enough, or drink water. So the ADP converts again to ATP, and you have already, we close our cycle. And this is our life, okay? So, and what is important to understand? These levels, imagine now we have one has unity, one is the range of our life. And oxidations and reductions is in between of this. So oxidations here and reductions here. If my body can achieve both values, I can tell you that your body can have energy to do any metabolic process that our body needs. So we are okay. We shouldn't have problems because we are in the correct range. But for any reason, I don't know, I get some stress, I get some problems, I need to find solutions, so my body goes down. And what happens is this. So I don't achieve again the maximum values to have my amount of energy for my metabolic process. And I start to be in problems, I start to be in trouble. So my body cannot do, the right job at this moment. So my kidneys cannot work very well. My lungs cannot work very well because they don't have energy. They don't have the amount of energy to do the job. Okay, so let me show now about these concepts, to merge these concepts in the cycles, in natural cycles. The 3 songs that I talk about the universe, that I like it. So we have the 3 cycles here. We have the solar cycle, that one with orange line. We have the lunar cycle, that one. And we have the daily cycle here. It's not easy to see, but there are a lot of waves here. So this is equinox. Later Rita will explain equinox and solstices. Okay, solstices, sorry. But what I want to show you is why it's important to be in tune with these natural cycles. Because if you are in tune with natural cycles, your body can achieve these points, 1 and -1. And this is our life without problems, okay, or in flow. Okay, so if I lose my daily cycle because I don't know, I'm out of daily cycle, I start to sleep at 1 in the morning, or I'm out of the cycle, what happens is I cannot achieve more the amount of energy that my body needs. Okay, and if I lose another cycle, like the moon cycle, I'm in troubles. Only 50%. Okay, and if I lose this one, okay, so it's time to go to another planet. And this is the real problem now. Okay, so this is what I want to talk with you today, and we start again now with the solar cycle. Let me, Rita, please, if you can do something.
Yeah. So basically, we finished the first presentation about the concept oxidation and reduction. It's very important to have this concept in mind, because oxidation is when you feel more energetic, and reduction is a period of recovery. So basically, we are going to see that all cycles work like this. This is a function, the sine function that Nuno loves. That means that is you can apply this function to everything, to your life ups and downs, to a relationship, to your health. So basically, this is the function of the universe, oxidation and reduction. And now we are going to see that you can apply the sine function to all the cycles, starting with the solar cycle, right, Nuno?
Yes. Okay. So okay, Rita, it's your time.
Yeah, the solar cycle basically is the 4 seasons of the year. So basically, we have the springtime, you have summer, autumn, and winter. And what is important more than the seasons themselves are the solstices and equinoxes. The solstices and equinoxes are like the changing points. Basically, for instance, solstice is the peak of oxidation, the summer solstice, while the winter solstice is the peak of reduction. That's why during the summer we feel more energetic because we are in oxidation, and then during the winter, that's why some animal species hibernate during winter, because they are in the period of reduction, they are recovering, they spend a lot of energy during summer, and now they are recovering. And basically, these 4 dates are very important because they are like shifting points. And these are 4 of the 8 dates that we consider on the Healy app to start our protocol, to start our realignment with the natural cycles. And now we are about to have in 3 days the equinox, the spring equinox, which is very important to start our protocol. And then maybe we can change the slide, Nuno. Yeah.
Okay.
And
maybe the people don't, I don't know. I think it's a concept that everybody know. Equinox and solstice. But let's take only to explain again. Okay, so what is the equinox? Is when the day has the same number of hours, day and night. So is similar. And solstice is, you have 2, of course, the spring and the summer. And pardon?
It's
Winter.
solstice, summer, and the winter. Yeah.
Yes, it's not correct there. So in the summer we have more, the day is bigger than the night, and the winter, of course, the night is bigger than the day. And this is amazing about religions, because one day we can talk about that and explain about, you know, not only Buddha, but Jesus Christ. And it's amazing. You can understand, because the religions start here. Okay, so we have this concept, but this is really important, because this is what we're talking now is about the northern hemisphere, because in the southern is different, as you can see. Okay, so equinox is the same, of course, but the solstice is the inverse. Okay.
Yeah, for example, in the northern hemisphere, the summer solstice occurs around 21st of June, and the winter around December 21st. So these dates mark the beginning of the respective seasons in this hemisphere. In the southern, on the other hand, the phenomenon is symmetrical. As you can see, the summer occurs in December and winter in June. And it's very important to consider that. Basically, the dates are the same, but the event is different. This is what we have. So in addition to these 4 days, as I said before, these 4 days is when it will be easier to enter a phase with the natural cycle. So we can also consider the intermediate dates as an option. Okay, so you have 8 options to start your reconnection, to start your protocol with the natural cycle. And this is the starting point of the app developed by Nuno for Healy. And like all natural cycles, as I said in the beginning, we can also assign function to the solar cycle. Basically, what we did was we transformed the solar cycle to the same sign function. So what we have done is, as you can see, you have the maximum oxidation peak, that is summer, and you have the maximum reduction peak, that is the winter solstice. So basically, this is what we have for the solar cycle, and in between we have the equinoxes, and we are going to see that this function can be applied to all of the cycles. And it's amazing because basically we are using different names, but for instance, the Chinese medicine has the yin yang, is the same concept, and life is a balance between yin yang, oxidation and reduction, and so on. So no.
Yeah. Okay, so I hope that you understand the solar cycles. So let's move now to the lunar cycle. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Nat, quickly, because I just listen in, because you hear a double, you know, because you hear on your screen Rita and Nuno talking, and then your voice suddenly sometimes disappears. So maybe you need to switch it a little bit, not so loud. It's easier to hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
So we will now talk about the lunar cycle.
Lunar cycle is also amazing, and we lose the connections with the lunar. Well, I don't know in Asia, but here in Europe you are completely out of these cycles, and it's important to remember the people that these cycles is our songs, our soul's songs, our mind songs. And why is important to be, and this is the reason why it's important to be in tune with these cycles. So lunar cycle is, as everybody knows, we have about 29 days, and this amount of days, is
yeah,
the name is lunations. Okay, So, and why is important this cycle for us? Before that, I would like to tell you that we lose the connections with this cycle. One reason was we create a calendar a long time ago, and the calendar was created about, you know, commercial vision, was created by in the Netherlands. They don't was care about the lunar, and we create the Gregorian calendar and don't care about, you know, the lunar cycle. But some religions, like my religions, I'm Jewish, we take care and we follow the lunar cycle, and because of that, our new, you know, our new year, the day is not the same. We change because we are in tune, or we are trying to be in tune with this amazing relation. And why it's important? Well, everybody knows that the moon have a very strong gravity relation with our planet, and you can see that in the water, in the ocean, because the tides, Luna can control the tides basically. So according to the science, we are our body, we are water containers. Okay, so we have about 75% of water. So if the moon can do this to the oceans, imagine what the moon can do the same, or can do the same with us. Yeah. And because of that, it's so important. And this is one reason to be to understand this cycle. Rita.
Yeah, so do you remember the oxidation reduction graph? So basically, we can apply it to the solar cycle, as we saw, to the seasons, and now we are going to apply that to the moon phases. So what do we have? First of all, we have the new moon. And what is the new moon? As the name suggests, is the new beginning, is the start of the new cycle. And at this point, our body is ready to begin an amazing journey. It is especially important during this period to support your kidneys through supplements, or you can use your Healy, for instance, pure from Gold Cycle or Care. They are two very important tools to use during this period. So as you can see, we are in the reduction. And the next one, the ascending phase, is a very dynamic phase because the reduction phase is over, which means we have more energy to start projects. And you can use energy program from the Gold Cycle as well during this period if you want to increase your skills and vitality. This is the phase when you are literally ready for war. Okay, and then the full moon. The full moon is the climax. It's the maximum peak that we reach, as we saw, the peak of oxidation. So it's the ideal period for full manifestation. It's the period when we have everything in our hands. So we have the energy to express our intentions to the world, and our affections during full moon period are more expressive. So as the past journey has been very demanding, it is time to give liver support. Once again, with supplements or with frequencies, you can use pure from Gold Cycle. Okay, so next comes the waning phase, which is the period of reduction, of slowing down, of putting your foot on the brake. So it's a time of preparation. It's normal that during this period you feel that your mood lowers. It's very common. It's the end of the oxidation phase. So it will and the body stopped to produce so much energy. So although it may not seem like it, it is the most important phase of all, this phase, because it will determine the preparation at the moment of starting again and the whole cycle that follows. So if you prepare your body well during this period, you will be ready for the next moon cycle. Okay, you can use balance, relax, or being from gold cycle. Okay, so now that you have this information, what happens in each phase of the moon cycle, you can look at your body, look at your feelings, at your mood, and you can relate with the moon cycle. For instance, if you feel like your mood is not that good, you don't feel that much energy, that the same energy that you felt in the last week, maybe it can be related with the moon cycle, because we are part of the universe. The moon affects our bodies, so we are not independent. So this could be an explanation. And more than that, it's very important to respect the timings of your body. So don't be too demanding on your body if it's not time to do so. Okay, so this is the lunar cycle. And now we are going to move on to the daily cycle. So basically we start with the sun, then we went to the moon, and now we are going to the 24 hours of the day. Okay, all three cycles influence our body in different ways. And what we are trying to explain is that we can analyze each cycle and then understand how we can be aligned with them. So this is the daily.
Why is it important to understand the cycles? Not only to use the app that we developed, but it's important because you start to understand your body. You start to understand some little tips that your body talking to you. And if you understand these cycles, you can understand, when your body talk to you. Sometimes your body tell us, oh, I need to be a little bit depression. Why? Because it's the influence of these cycles. And you say, oh my God, I'm depression. Or is my problem? Or I am anxiety. This is part of the universe. This is part of these songs. Sometimes the songs that we listen is very like rock and roll, and you need to move a lot. And sometimes it's very slow music, and you need to be slowed down. So it's our life. And it's amazing that you understand, the language of your body, the language of these cycles, and you start to be on and not out of these amazing songs that the universe created to us. So Rita again.
So once again, in general lines, as you can see, we have the maximum oxidation peak around midday, while the maximum reduction peak will be at midnight. If you are in the flow with the natural cycles, you will probably have more energy during the maximum oxidation peak, that means in the midday, and you will probably be sleeping during the maximum reduction peak at midnight. So this is the natural daily flow. But let's take a closer look. Our bodies are acidic at 6 a.m., which is the perfect condition to initiate the oxidation process. That's when we usually start to feel more energetic, to start off the day, to work and make things happen. So until we reach the maximum oxidation peak at midday. From that moment on, our bodies start alkalizing, so enabling the reduction process to start. To reach the maximum reduction peak, the body needs to be alkaline beforehand. So it's a process. When we talk about oxidation and reduction, acid alkaline, we are talking about the electrical perspective and the magnetic perspective. So the reduction period allows recovery to happen, especially after all the energy spent throughout the day. So just like the other natural cycles, as we saw, we can also apply the sine function to the daily cycle. So what we did here was to transform the daily cycle, as you can see, into, once again, the sine function, and the maximum peak of oxidation at midday and the maximum reduction peak at midnight. Once again, the yin-yang, the recovery and the energy peak. Okay, so, and this is what Healy and Time Weaver also do with our bodies to manage this oxidation reduction flow. So according to the Chinese meridian system, when we grasp this cycle, we start to understand if we are in the flow of the universe, okay? The Chinese body clock is based on the idea that you can make the most of your energy and specific organs by using them when they are at their peak. And this Chinese body clock is something that we considered while doing the natural cycle app and the frequencies. So basically, during the 24 hours, Qi is believed to move in 2 hours intervals throughout all organ systems, okay? While you are sleeping, Qi is believed to fully restore your body. So it's the recovery, it's the reduction phase. So let's start. So between, for instance, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m., the pericardium is at its peak. The pericardium is believed to be the heart's protector, the serous membrane that protects it. So this is the ideal time to do a practice that helps you relax or induce sleep, such as meditation or light reading. And don't forget, eat light during this period. We recommend to, like, the last meal of the day to be around 7 p.m. would be great. Between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., it's the triple heater peak. The triple heater refers to the organ system as a whole. And this period is thought to be when it generates the most amount of heat. During this time, okay, the end of the day, of course, a little earlier in winter, a little later in summer, we should be falling asleep. The next one, during the night, there is the gallbladder peak that precedes the liver peak, as these two organs are closely linked. At this time, sleep is very important, or we may deplete these two organs' energy reserves. So during the night is recovery time, is reduction phase, so we should be sleeping. Liver, one of the most important 2-hour intervals. So it's between 1 a.m. and 3 p.m. It's when the liver is believed to be cleansing the blood. During this time frame, the body begins to prepare for Qi to move outward from the body again. So those who prescribe to the Chinese body clock believe it's important during this period to give your liver as little to process as possible, so it can be focused on its several cleansing functions, okay? This means eating your last meal of the day early and making sure it's light, as we mentioned before. So between 3 and 5 p.m. is when the lungs are at its peak. According to the traditional Chinese medicine, the lungs are the first organ to wake up. It is believed to be an ideal time to meditate. So at 5 a.m. would be great to meditate if you are awake, as the basis of meditation is a slow and deep breath. So the next one, the large intestine peak between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. is thought to be when you should wake up and start moving. And this is the best time to empty the bowels because the organ is functioning at its optimal strength. So if it happens on a regular basis, it's a strong indicator that you are in the flow with the natural cycle. Okay, so when you wake up, if you go to the bathroom and you empty your bowels, it means that you are probably aligned with the daily cycle. Between 7 and 9 a.m. is the optimal time of the day to eat, as the energy of the stomach is at its maximum. It is also a perfect moment to go for a walk. Okay, so 7 a.m. if you finished your last meal at 7 p.m. the day before, you had 12 hours without eating. Yeah, the next one, between 9 and 11 a.m. the spleen is thought to be linked to the stomach, which is in charge to receiving food and drink before ultimately fermenting them. So if you have not eaten before, the spleen is unable to perform its function, and you may experience probably energy breakdown. So of course, we are not saying that you should follow these, but you can eat at any time, but we want to work in harmony with these body systems. So if you want to work in harmony, you should follow more or less these body clocks. So these between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. is also a great period for concentration, and it's ideal for work. And between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., the heart is at its peak. So because the heart represents peacefulness, it's essential to reduce stress during this period. This is a good time to take a break, to have lunch and relax. And this time, it is not advisable to exercise intensely or stay in a very hot environment. And okay, after the stomach, you have the small intestine. And this is an important phase because you are digesting lunch. So you should avoid heavy or mentally stressful work. During the first part of the schedule, you can also eat. You can still eat. There is no problem. And this is the perfect time to take a short nap. So your body will be focused on digesting, so you can shut down. You can sleep a little bit and take a nap after lunch. During 3 p.m. and 5 p.m., it is the best time to do the most important and challenging tasks on your schedule, such as studying and focused work. You need to be well nourished and properly hydrated to carry you through the day. All right. And the last one, and the very important one, maybe one of Nuno's favorite, between 5 and 7 p.m., it is believed that the kidney is in charge of containing qi, and it's directly connected with the bladder. So together, they clean the body, okay? They excrete unwanted waste materials within the body. And this is an extremely important process to gain electrolytic balance. So we are always saying that imagine that our body is an aquarium full of water and full of fishes that are our organs. The filters of the aquarium are the kidneys. And you have 2 kidneys because they are very important. You don't have 2 hearts or 2 livers. So it's very important to make sure that they are working properly, okay? The filters of your aquarium are your kidneys. So, and now that we shared all this concept, it's very important to be aware if you are working in balance or not with this daily cycle. If you feel that you wake up tired, it means that probably you are not in the flow. If your intestines doesn't work in the morning and, for instance, during the night or something, it means that you are not in the flow. But for instance, if you are having some respiratory complications and you wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Coughing, it means that probably you are in the flow. And so on. These are very, like, I would say tips, but a very important concept to bear in mind. Right, Nuno?
Yes, these concepts that Rita shared with you, of course, maybe everybody know, or a lot of people know that. But what we try to tell you is these are small tips so that you can understand natural cycles. Maybe you learn these in another concept, but now we are merged these with the natural cycles, the daily cycles. So with these two, with these concepts that we just share with us now, there are a little bit tips that can be tell us if we are on flow or out of this amazing flow of the universe. And this is what I want to tell you now is I don't know if you have the app or not, but sometimes the app tells us to use at 3 in the morning. And you say, whoa, in the 3 in the morning I'm broken I break my flow, my cycle, because at 3 in the morning I should be asleep. Okay, so let's understand, or let's find the solution for that. If the Healy tell us to do at 3 in the morning, what you can do? We can do the inverse, because if this organ is in oxidation process, the other one is in the reduction. So you can focus. If Healy tell, okay, so you should do at lungs, or you should do at 3 in the morning, you can use the 3 p.m. It's the same effect. So you don't need to break your flow, your cycle. Okay. Yeah. So it's very easy, because you only need to change the AM with the PM. Okay.
For instance, this one, if you want to work on your lungs between 3 a.m. and 5 p.m., we should work on the opposite. Okay, between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m., which is the organ is
wait, I show you. Is the bladder?
I think it's bladder.
Yeah, just to emphasize on the importance of this and not to communicate it wrong. So if the organ is active at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., you cannot use the same organ at 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., but the opposite laying organ. In this case, it is lung at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. And it is, which one was it at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m.?
I think it's bladder.
So the opposite laying organ, then it's bladder. Okay, yeah. So that allows us really to work on and support our organs to the right times. And I think this is incredible information, to know this, to understand this, and to be able to work with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the same happens with the liver. If you want to tell her, oh, you should do liver, you can use small intestine, gallbladder, you can use heart, and so on. Okay, so the next slide is the last one. Basically, is the way that you can use our app. And here we have the 3 cycles, so that you can understand it is possible to merge all the cycles in only one. So you can see, global vision about all the cycles. Look, for instance, at 12. Look, 12 or midnight or midday, okay, noon, and in the 21st of June, and in between the full moon and the last quarter of the moon, you are in the peak of energy. When it happens, is like, is amazing moment in our lives. Everything is aligned to have the huge amount of energy that universe can tell or can give in this moment. And also the reduction point in midnight, when be in 25 of December, 22nd of December, and in between the new moon and the first quarter, you have so when this happens, is a gift of the universe to us, is real amazing, is moments that is is unforgettable moments. And if you are aware, if you understand this concept, it's more easy to feel this, because we are aware, we are waiting for these moments. And sometimes if you don't know about the natural cycles and these concepts, well, the moments pass through us, and and it's okay, it's life.
Life happening.
Yes. Okay. So cycles, natural cycles are the roads of your life. It's the songs that universe create to us. Let's talk a little bit now. Rita, explain you how our app works.
Yeah, because
Healy.
the app, basically, the starting point is your location, because the place where you are will affect everything regarding if you are in the northern hemisphere, if you are in the southern. We need to know the event that will occur. And for instance, we selected London as an example, and the software will get the next trigger date. If you are today, in one day, will be the equinox, and then it will also gather the time where the equinox will take place. This is all automatically. All you have to do is insert your location. So after that, the Healy will get all this information. No.
Okay.
And also we'll get
we can explain. Rita, we can explain. Okay, so what you have here, and for understand. So at this moment, at this point, we are walking to our oxidation maximum. Okay, we are in the middle, but we are ready to go, because universe tells us, let's go. Now our road is to achieve the maximum point of oxidation in our here. So this is our road. Okay, so I'm prepared to do this now. I'm preparing my body. I'm preparing my. I hope we already prepared up the body, but universe also help us to do this job. Okay, so this is what I want to achieve. Is this? But why I can achieve this amount of oxidation? Why? Because I have a lot of reduction. I have a lot. My body is prepared. My body is like a mobile phone. I have my battery full charge. So I'm ready to pick a flight from London to China or to Thailand. And I have battery enough. I have charge enough to talk and to use my phone during the flight. So this is, as Rita told, this is important to know where you are for really understand, to create the right frequencies for this point. The next information that is really important, as we talk a few
moments ago,
sorry, is the moon. Why moon is important, Rita?
Yeah, so basically the app will get, okay, I have the next trigger date. So I consider the lunar cycle, and I have the hour where the event will happen, the equinox. But I also need what phase of the moon will be on that day. So this is all automatically, you don't have to insert nothing. So for instance, now we are going to start the new moon, the beginning of the new cycle.
So London, this date, this here, we have at this time the new moon, and this is really important. Okay, so London, as we told, we are in the new moon, so I'm here. Okay, so this seems complex, but it's not. If you understand the concept, you understand the way that universe talk with us. Okay, yeah, so 9 p.m. Do you remember? Okay, so Rita.
Yeah, so now after we have the date, considering the solar cycle, we have the moon phase, considering the lunar cycle, and then we have the daily cycle, considering the hour of the equinox, where equinox takes place. And then Healy will find the right frequencies, considering the oxidation reduction phase of each one of them, and then we'll get you the final protocol. Okay, it's very intuitive. You don't need to decide nothing, because the app will decide for you, and then we can move. No.
Yes, let's see the steps that the app can do for us. But let me give me a few seconds to explain this. For the eyes of the solar cycle, my body is in oxidation. Okay. For eyes of the lunar cycle, my body is in reduction, and for eyes for the daily cycle, oxidation is also down. Okay, so you can see here. So this is maybe don't make sense now, but if you start to thinking in these concepts, you understand that this is real makes sense. So this is the steps that the app can do for us. So we have the cycles, we have these amazing movements in the universe. We are here, I'm here, and you are there. Really understand this, because we put all of this in software. So really can understand these movements, can understand these, these cycles, and what Healy can do for us after. Okay, is simple. You use this, Rita, again.
Yeah, you have the Healy Advisor app, you go into, and if you purchase the natural cycle, this program will appear, and then you select, and inside you just have, as we mentioned, you have to mention where you are. So the Healy can consider all the data from that specific time zone. And then, for instance, we are in Lisbon, so we selected and we started. And Healy will give you the protocol. 1 glass of water 30 minutes before the session, another glass of water 15 minutes before the session, and then selects automatically the activation frequencies for that day. After you finished, you take another glass of water and you end the protocol with the stabilization program. You have 2 options, daily and solar. Probably 99% of people will need first the daily, because if you are not aligned with the daily, you need first to fix that. And how does the stabilization program works? No, you want to?
No, you.
Okay, so basically it's the same when, I don't know, when you draw with the charcoal, you need something to for fixation, and that's how the stabilization frequencies work basically. So the activation frequencies do the changes that we want, and then the stabilization is like to fix them for a while and to maintain. So you have 2 options, but probably you will need the daily stabilization first to be aligned with the daily cycle, and then to go to the solar to be aligned with the solar cycle. So it's a very simple app to use. Nuno made it very user-friendly. So all you have to do is select, and it has the protocol, and then we'll set a reminder. So when it's about time, you'll receive a notification, and you just have to follow the protocol, nothing else. And then we'll guide you on how frequently you should do that, when to stop. For instance, if you start feeling differences on your body, if you feel, okay, you look at the lunar cycle, you look at the daily cycle, and you say, okay, I'm feeling this. Okay, my body is working like that. It means that you are aligned. And usually you can finish the protocol when another trigger date arrives. For instance, you start now, and if you feel that you are very quick in your alignment, you can finish on the intermediate date, or you can finish, for example, in the summer solstice to close the cycle. Do you understand? So we start on a trigger date, and you can finish on a trigger date also. What is supposed to feel when you are aligned with the natural cycles is that you are not struggling anymore. You are in the flow. So things happen easily. You are in the right mood and the right time. So you start to understand your feelings. If you are in a bad mood or if you feel energetic, if you wake up tired, you are not aligned. Oh, you need to work on that. If you are not sleeping at midnight, you are not aligned. You need to work on that. So all the things will be aligned when using the natural cycles. That's the goal of this set of frequencies, is to be aligned with the universe. Yesterday, we talked about the influence, for example, of the moon on women, because the menstrual cycle works with the lunar cycle. 28 days, it's the lunation, and the influence that the moon has on not only in women, in men, of course, also, but very important, drink a lot of water to make sure that these cycles have like matter to work on.
Basically, what you feel when you are aligned with these cycles, you feel that you belong to this amazing planet.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
So you are back in flow and not out of flow.
Yep.
Okay, I will now stop the interpretation so we all come together, and Nat, you can ask questions, and of course you also, Nicola. Now you guys are back. สวัสดีครับ
ยากมากเลยวันนี้
Wow, I'm sure you did an amazing job.
Yeah. Can we ask questions?
Yes, please, Nicola. We were waiting for you.
Hi, Nuno. Hi, Rita.
Hi.
I'm excited.
Hi.
My words might not come out like properly. I have a few questions. The one I asked in the chat was, can you be in the flow with certain organs? And so with that organ cycle, you use solar stabilization, and then the other organs, because you don't feel like you're in sync, you use the daily one, or once you are in sync, you use solar for all of the organs.
Can you ask the question in Thai now as well, so that people understand what you're asking,
Okay.
Nicola?
เวลาเราใช้ natural cycle ใช่ไหมคะแล้วคุณนูนีน่าบอกว่าถ้าสมมติว่าเรารู้สึกว่า in sync หรือ in flow เนี่ยให้ใช้ solar stabilization ในโปรแกรมที่จบนะคะคือนิคลาถามว่าถ้าสมมติว่าสำหรับlet's say อวัยวะหนึ่งเนี่ย let's say ปอดเนี่ยเรารู้สึกว่าเรา in sync กับ in flow เนี่ยอันนั้นเราใช้ solar stabilization แต่ว่าอวัยวะอื่นเนี่ยที่เราคิดว่ามันยังไม่เข้าระบบยังไม่เข้า rhythm เนี่ยเราต้องใช้ daily stabilization หรือเปล่า
Okay, works like a puzzle, you know. You don't need to put all the piece at the right moment in the moment. It's not. Some organs are more sensitive and are more close to go on the flow. So this is a puzzle. Sometimes one day you feel that you are different, but maybe you start and don't feel nothing. Was not the feedback that we have, but if you start to do this and don't feel nothing, it's because you are so far away with this flow, and maybe all the organs are almost correct, and when they click, and it's like this, you know, and that's all. So it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle that universe should do for us if we go on the rules.
So you're saying that actually don't do solar stabilization for that organ that we think is in sync. We should leave it until everything comes together and just do solar that one time on completion, right?
Exactly. Yes, you can. Sometimes you can help a little bit. It's okay. Because if you achieve this point, okay, let's do something to keep this level. Okay, for the next step will be not comes from here but comes from here. You can do it's works all together. Is all these tools is to move you into another level.
Okay, please share your understanding, Nicola.
So คุณนูนะบอกว่าจริงๆแล้วเนี่ยอวัยวะแต่ละอวัยวะเนี่ยค่ะ มันจะทำงานของมันเองเมื่อไหร่ที่มันสอดคล้องเนี่ยมันจะแบบฟิตอินอย่างเงี้ยค่ะแล้วเราจะรู้สึกว่าโอเคทุกอย่างเข้ามาเป็นหนึ่งแล้วเนี่ยมี coherence ด้วยกันนะคะณตอนนั้นเนี่ยให้ทำ solar stabilization อย่าไปทำอวัยวะต่ออวัยวะค่ะรอให้เรารู้สึกว่าทุกอย่างมัน inflow มันทำงานสอดคล้องด้วยกันนะคะถึงค่อยทำ solar stabilization นะคะ
Okay, Nicola, I have to ask you a question. Because we had the translation, and for some people it's maybe the first time they really understand the concept of oxidation and reduction. Would you be so kind and share your understanding and the importance and why you believe this is so amazing in a short couple sentences to our Thai people?
You put me on the spot.
I know.
Okay. Why is it important? Well,ภาษาไทยwhy is it important? ทำไม oxidation กับ reduction ถึงสำคัญใช่ไหมคะจริงๆแล้วเนี่ยมันเป็น natural flowของ